Okay, so we're going to do B here. This again, it should be on page 21, solving quadratic equations by graphing. So if I look at B, it looks a little bit different to me. What form is B in? We looked at the three forms before. We have standard form, factored form, and vertex form. Which one is B in? It's actually in vertex form, okay? The way I can tell that is because I have this binomial right here, x minus 3, and that's being squared to the second power, all right, instead of having two binomials and nothing else. So I'll tell you what, this one actually is really easy. First step, is everything over on one side of the equal sign? Yes, it is. So I can just go ahead and enter that straight into my calculator, just like it looks. Negative 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 7. Now I take a second and I make sure I entered it in correctly before I go waste my time doing a bunch of other stuff. All right, it looks good. I graph it. Okay. At this point, you guys can draw a sketch if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and calculate my first x-intercept. That is the same thing as a 0. If you lose your cursor and you can't find your cursor, use these coordinates. I can see right now my x is somewhere at about a -1, which means if I keep hitting right, I should come up onto the screen right now. All right? So I need to be left bound of my first 0. Boom. Right bound. Boom. Boom. My first 0 is -1.1291713. Remember in the beginning it said round to 2 decimal places. Sam, what would that be if I rounded that to 2 decimal places?
I can't see.
You can't see? Can you see the numbers on your calculator?
Yeah.
What are they?
So I didn't do the
What?
proper step.
Why not? So 1.129, I'm thinking I'm going to round that up to a 1.13. Does that work for y'all?
How do you? So you take this and then click it here, enter, and then enter.
So your instructions will be on the bottom. So let's go to second calc. You're calculating the zeros, right? Okay. So do you see on the bottom left how it says left bound? You need to choose your first 0 and you need to move the cursor to the left of that point.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, hang on. I'll show you in just a second, all right? But I want to finish this problem real quick. So I got my first x value as x equals 1.13. Looks like my calculator got messed up. Let me open up a new one. Here, take this back. You got it. You can watch my steps. I'm going to do it this time, all right? Okay, Sam, you got your graph right here?
Yep.
Okay, we're calculating the 0, right? The 0 and the x-intercept are the same thing. Same term, two terms are the same thing. So, second, calculate. You with me?
I can't. My cursor isn't even working.
Just hit second calc. Does it look like this? Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2 for 0, right?
Yep.
On your bottom left corner, does it say left bound?
Yep.
Okay, so what happens if you hit left or right? Do you see your cursor?
No, I can't.
Okay, so keep hitting right, and see if you see your cursor.
Got it.
Okay, so you keep.
Oh, I see it.
Okay, so you were just off of the screen. Now we need to be left bound of my first 0, which I'll just use right there. Okay, with me? Okay, good, bud. So now it's asking me to be right bound, so I go up and I go right bound. and I hit enter, right? And then it asks me to guess, I just hit enter. And right there.
1.1291.
Right, which we rounded to a 1.13, right? Okay, so let's do the same thing for the second one. I need to repeat the whole process.
4.87.
Okay,
So what do I press for the second one?
second calc. 0. You repeat the entire process. The only difference is when it says left bound, we need to be left bound of my second 0 over here. Okay?
So on the other side.
Yep. I hit enter. I go right bound of it. I hit enter again. I hit enter for the guess.
Plus.
4.87082887.
There you go, 4.870. What would that be if I rounded it to the nearest hundredth bend?
4.87, like I just said.
Good job. Okay, so now we can go ahead and sketch our graph and we can label those. So I can see my graph starts down here, crosses, comes up, maxes out, comes back down. My first X is at 1.13 comma 0. My second one is at 4.87 comma 0. I have those labeled. Sam, what are the solutions to this quadratic equation? Oops, I drew my graph on the wrong one, didn't I? Oops. That should be right there. What are my solutions?
I don't know what you
I mean the values of x that make this equation true. Then what are my solutions? Really easy. Check it out. My solutions are these x values. Okay? They are the x values of the x-intercepts. So my solutions are...
You did it on the wrong graph.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I drew the arrow over there. So my solutions are x equals 1.13 and 4.87. Why are you putting your stuff away? You didn't write the answer. We did all that work, and you didn't even write the answer down?
I wrote it down. I speed wrote it. Is it